Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Nassau Community College student Matt Leonard.
Today, you're going to meet the world's largest no-kill animal rescue and adoption organization, and it's right here on Long Island.
Matt, I know you're talking about the North Shore Animal League, America, who has a goal to make sure that homeless pets find loving homes. Our guest today is Kristie Buccella. Kristie, thanks for being with us.
Hi, thanks so much. So happy to be here.
Kristie, can you start off by telling us your personal connection with the North Shore Animal League of America?
Well, I've been here for almost 10 years now. I started as an associate and just love cats and dogs and worked my way up the ranks as I was able to help get lots of animals adopted. And it's just been a passion of mine ever since.
I'm just thinking, I guess that's almost like hiring the right salesperson. If you can get a lot of animals adopted, that's probably the real goal there, right? To get them good homes. And
absolutely. We are an adoption agency, so we want to make the best fit for our pets that we have here. So we do a lot of one-on-one conversations and just really helping our adopters make the right matches.
I think that's wonderful. I got myself a new dog 2 years ago. And I realized when people, as I'm getting older, that they tell you get an older dog for an older person because that dog had a lot of pep and energy and certainly more pep and energy than I had. So I had to catch up and take a few more vitamins to keep up with the dog as she went through her puppy stages.
Yes, that is absolutely accurate. Puppies are very active, that's for sure.
Kristie, can you tell us about North Shore Animal League's history here right in our backyard on Long Island?
Yes, so North Shore Animal League America we have been rescuing animals since 1944. We are the largest no-kill animal shelter, and we have rescued over 100 million animals. 1 million animals, I'm sorry.
Still a very large number regardless. That's awesome.
Kristie,
we've saved over 1 million lives.
Congratulations. That's wonderful. Even to save one animal's life, I think anybody who cares about animals certainly really appreciates that. I noticed in your name, I've always referred to your organization as the North Shore Animal League, but I noticed it's North Shore Animal League America. Have I been saying it wrong, or is that a new addition to comply with law or something?
We've been going by North Shore Animal League America for a very long time. A lot of people just shorten it, but yes, America is accurate.
Oh, it has been part of you now. Okay, I didn't know if that was something new or if I just dropped off the end without knowing it or, just referring it to North Shore Animal League. You mentioned how you had helped homeless pets find loving homes. Can you go a little deeper into that mission and tell us, first of all, what you're all about?
Sure. So our mission is to rescue, nurture, and adopt our animals. So what we do is we work with shelter partners all across the United States, as well as internationally, and we work to get homeless animals rescued, and we bring them here and prepare them for adoption. So we like to have them all seen by a vet, get them grooming, do some socialization, whatever they need to be ready for adoption. And once they go out for adoption, we help them find lovable homes.
Now, you used a term which is new to me, Matt, maybe you know about this, but socialization. Now, he's laughing, but I do see some dogs that really don't socialize well. It sounds funny, but as I walk my dog, and she's one of them, let's be honest, she'll see another dog and growl, etc. How do you get a dog to socialize?
So there's a lot of things that you can do. It really depends on the dog's needs. If they're just a little scared, maybe unsure of their environment, just some time with human interaction. Sometimes we do play groups with other dogs or puppies just to help them relax a bit and come out of their shell. And you'll be surprised at how far they'll come in such a short amount of time.
Oh, so it really works. The dogs do change and they get used to playing with each other.
Yep, they absolutely do. We've seen some very scared puppies and dogs. And after spending time with them, we have so many volunteers that just love to come and socialize with them. And they've been able to grow and come out of their shell so quickly with just that interaction.
Now, the word in your title is Animal League. And I was just thinking as we're talking, we, the public, think of Animal League as dogs and cats and puppies and kittens. Do you ever get unexpected either donations or animals that say, I want you to have my pet alligator, Albert, or, here's my cow, Bessie, take good care of her, goodbye. What was the biggest surprise you got in that department?
I'd say we've gotten some bunnies. We have had a chicken before, but what we do is generally if we speak to the people, we'll help them find the right rescue agency that will handle those animals since we're not equipped to handle them really.
Oh, there's a separate, I figured something like that, but I figured it probably is good for a story. So there is a different agency that would handle obviously different animals like that.
Yeah, we sometimes have people come with injured wildlife and think that we might be able to rehabilitate them, and we just guide them in the right direction on the right agency.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Can you give us an idea of how large an operation North Shore Animal League America really is?
It's very large. So over our campus, we have 12 buildings. We have about 300 employees, part-time and full-time, and around 300 volunteers that help volunteer their time to take care of the animals.
That is a big number, 300 volunteers?
Yes. We couldn't do it without them. There's so many different areas in which they volunteer: cats, dogs, puppies, walking, socialization, getting them adopted, just helping to clean and care for them. So many different areas that they can help in. We couldn't do it without them.
That's really wonderful. And I think aside from that, it's probably as rewarding to the volunteers, because I would imagine almost all of them are real animal people who really enjoy this and love taking care of the animals.
Absolutely. They know where their heart is and they want to be here for the animals. And that's the best part about it, because they're able to come and donate their time to a cause that makes their life feel fulfilled. It's great.
And where is the North Shore Animal League based?
We are in Port Washington, New York, on Long Island.
And any other branches like McDonald's? Are you in each town as we go through? Or
No, we are actually the only branch. We do have a small feline adoption center in upstate New York, but this is the only North Shore Animal League America campus that we have.
Now, Kristie, we always, someone looking for a pet will go over there, and certainly I think you must be the one most famous because I hear your name more as organization. But where do your pets come from? Is there a location, or is it just somebody finds a cat or dog in the street?
So we are an adoption agency, and we do rescue our animals. So what we do is we work with shelter partners, and they are all located all over the United States, as well as internationally. We do have some international partners, and they help to get the animals into their facility, and then we arrange transport for them to come here. So that way we're able to get them prepared for adoption.
And what do you have to do to prepare an animal for adoption?
What will happen is once they get in and get settled, we will have all of them groomed by our groomers. We have a doctor examine all of them and determine what needs they have medically, if they're ready for adoption, or if maybe they need spay neuter or further medical checkups. And once they are cleared to go up for adoption, that's when we put them on the adoption floor.
So you guys would cover all these, needed medical costs for these animals before they get adopted, or it would be partially or even fully on the new owner of the pet?
Nope. So everything that happens prior to adoption, North Shore Animal League America covers. So that is why we are so big on donations, because we are not government funded. So we rely heavily on donations to get the funds to help rescue more animals and find homes for these animals. What the adopter pays is very, very small in comparison to what it costs for us to rescue and care for the animals while they're here.
What work have you done in cases of when there's we hear of a disaster, a hurricane in a location? Do the pets then get shipped to another location from organizations, I'm going to say like yours, or just, I guess there's pets wandering around because now if a tragedy hits, a hurricane, a tornado, animals may get lost, just have to be relocated for many reasons.
Right. So what we do in that sense, if we find that there's going to be a natural disaster such as a hurricane or a tornado or anything to that extent, we will work with the shelters in those areas to help take animals that they currently have in their facilities. So that way they're able to make space for displaced animals, because there are still owners that want to be reunited with their animals, but perhaps they were separated. So we make room for them to bring them in to care for until they can hopefully be reunited with their owners.
By the way, I'm just thinking, and I'll interrupt Matt's next question, but is there a tip you can give pet owners that something like that won't happen around here? And I'm not even talking about the natural disaster. Maybe the gate is open and the dog or cat gets away. What's the best way to prevent it? Is it just putting a name and address on a collar or a chip or something like that?
The best thing I can suggest is always get your pet microchipped and make sure the information is up to date. If you change a phone number, an address, something to that extent, because that is going to ultimately be the lifesaver, because a collar can easily fall off or be removed and a microchip will stay there. And that's the safest way to make sure that your pet is reunited.
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Matt Leonard along with Bill Horan, and today you're meeting the world's largest no-kill animal rescue and adoption organization, and it's right here on Long Island. It's North Shore Animal League America, who has a goal to make sure that homeless pets find loving homes. Our guest today is Kristie Buccella. Kristie, let me ask you, can you explain how and why North Shore Animal League America's humane relocation efforts work so well?
Why it does work is because there are so many different areas where we have animals that are in need of home, that are in need of spay and neuter. And so what we are able to do is provide a space for them to come to. So if areas that might have low income are not able to afford spay and neuter, we are able to take those animals here and give them the medical care that they need and get them adopted.
Kristie, you've been talking about all the good works you do, so let's maybe we can help you with a kind of commercial here. Do you accept donations of supplies?
We absolutely do. We always can take treats. We like towels and blankets for the animals, dogs and cats, toys, all of those things, because so many animals are here and we like to be able to give them comfort and enrichment while they stay here.
So that I would guess for a lot of people, unfortunately, if a pet passes away, or maybe it's just a food type that someone got for their pet, and the pet looks at it like my dog, sniffs it, and goes, "No, not for me. I don't like that food. I'm not a vegetarian. Get me a hamburger or something." So long as it's in the package, I guess, as far as food goes, etc., they could bring it over and make a donation.
Absolutely. As long as it's unopened, we're able to take it and utilize it in the best way possible.
Terrific. Okay.
How is North Shore Animal League America funded? We understand you are a nonprofit, correct?
That is absolutely correct. We run on donations, and we also like to do certain things time of the year where we will do Global Pet Adopt-a-thon. We'll do Tour for Life. We'll do our fundraising events we have a gala, we have a luncheon. We do walk and wag. So we do a lot of events where it helps raise awareness and helps raise funds to let us continue on with our mission.
Kristie, you mentioned very quickly some of those events, but for instance, what do you mean by walk-in wags? And can you explain what some of those events are? Because they're new terms to me, and I don't know what they mean.
Well, if anyone ever has any question about what we're up to, I would always advise to visit North Shore Animal League's website, which is animalleague.org, and that has the most up-to-date information and details. But Walk and Wag is an event that we do each year where we have our staff and we have volunteers, and we get a lot of previous adopters and people who have dogs, and they're able to bring their dog to this walk, and it raises awareness for adoption, and it helps save lives.
Sounds like a good way to do things.
How can we or anybody really listening help get the word out about adoption beyond Long Island?
So the best thing to do is always recommend adoption over buying a dog or a cat. Adoption is, there's so many amazing animals in a shelter. It doesn't only mean unwanted or old animals. There's so many amazing animals that I've seen over the past 10 years that I would gladly take home. I would have 1,000 of them if I could. So the best thing to do is, to raise that awareness that adoption is the way to go, and to help give animals homes is the best thing that people can really do. And just if they're not able to physically come here, if they want to participate, but they're not able to come here and volunteer, they can certainly go to our website and find other ways that they can participate, just to feel that they're able to help and support us.
Kristie, can you give us an insight into the adoption process? If someone is thinking about, and let's say it's an older single person who says, I'd like a companion, I'd like to look for a dog, but, maybe they haven't been into this for a while, or they haven't done it. do they just come over there? Do they make an appointment? Is it going to be a one-shot thing? Do they have to bring letters of reference? And I don't mean to be silly. I just have no idea what would really be necessary to go through the process.
Sure. Everyone is always welcome to come down, and we always recommend coming down to see our animal selection because you never know who you might fall in love with. So we are open 7 days a week, 10 to 6, and we always encourage potential adopters or people who might just be thinking about it to come down to see our animals. And we are able to have our adoption counselors speak to the potential adopters to find out what their needs are in a pet, what kind of environment they live in. Do they live in an apartment? Do they live in a home? What kind of exercise do they do? And help them make the best suggestions possible for making that match.
That makes a lot of sense to me. I hadn't thought of it before, but obviously if you're in an apartment, there may be other restrictions that you don't have great open grounds around you, or if you're right near open fields or a school, maybe a bigger, more athletic dog has room to run and do what big dogs like to do, just get out there and exercise a little bit or what have you. So it sounds like a good way to get to know them.
Absolutely. We always encourage our adopters to do research just so that they know what they're really looking for. But if they're unsure or they're just new to the subject, we're always happy to give them the best advice possible and give them some potential breeds or help make matches. Because even if they walk through and they don't see the pet they're looking for that day, we're happy to take information down and give them a call. Or perhaps we might have an animal that just maybe we don't have space for on the adoption floor that we could bring out to them and make a match.
Do people come in? I'm just wondering if we learn about different markets and how people handle things. Do they come in and say, I want a Beagle or I want a Dalmatian? Or are they just open to which dog looks friendly or cute or makes a connection?
Really all of the above. Some people will come in with very specific needs and characteristics or certain breeds that they're familiar with. Other people are open to whichever, dog speaks to them or cat speaks to them. So it's really about just letting them walk around and engaging in conversation and finding out, what they're really looking for in a pet. So that way we can give them some pointers or tips because they might not think outside the box or they might not really know that their new best friend is waiting around the corner. So we're able to do that for them.
My family recently adopted a dog not too long ago, and fortunately, we're able to give our dog a very good, loving home. We're very nice to our dog and everything. And the unfortunate truth is some people aren't ready when they adopt a dog. I've heard this many times where people, they say, I want to adopt a dog or a cat or something like that, and they're not equipped. So my question is there any kind of, vetting process or background check or something before someone can adopt an animal from your organization?
Absolutely. We have a very thorough adoption process. So it begins really by walking around and finding the pet that you decide to adopt. And once you decide to adopt that pet, we have you fill out a very thorough application. We review it in person by a manager, and we have a thorough conversation with you to find out, what your home life is like. Do you work? Do you have pets at home? What do they like? Have they ever been around other pets? So we ask a very large amount of questions to help make sure we are making the right match. And then from there, we do a background check to make sure everything checks out. And once the application is approved, we have you speak to a vet assistant who goes over all of the medical, and we have you sign adoption paperwork. So it's a longer process, but we do a very thorough job, and we want to make sure our pets are going to the right homes.
Kristie, I'm just wondering if someone has a pet already, do you have them bring them in and kind of almost like a meet and greet with the two, I'm going to say two dogs for this example, or is it just, you find out through the adopting person what the personality of the other pet is like?
We actually do a lot of meet and greets, believe it or not. We do prefer if people have dogs at home and they're looking to adopt another dog. A very young puppy, we don't really do them as often, but if they have another dog and they're looking for an adult dog or just an older dog in general, we do like to do meet and greets just to see how their dog reacts or our dog reacts to them, because sometimes they're happy and sometimes maybe not so much. So if that doesn't go well, we're able to give them some guidance and hopefully help them find the right match for their dog.
And I think that's a good point, because I once got a puppy to go with my dog thinking they would both be very happy. And they did not care for each other at all, and they just lived their own separate lives in my house. But it wasn't what we intended. We thought these would be playmates for each other, and they just led separate lives.
And sometimes that's the case. We try to do the best to give you as much guidance as possible with bringing in a new pet and getting them set up to live together or cohabitate. And sometimes that's correct. They just live separate lives.
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Matt Leonard along with Bill Horan, and today you're meeting the world's largest no-kill animal rescue and adoption organization, and it is right here on Long Island. It's North Shore Animal League America, who has a goal to make sure that homeless pets find loving homes. Our guest today is Kristie Buccella. Kristie, my next question would be, how can people help North Shore Animal League America continue to save the lives of pets?
So what we always do is ask our people to visit our website, animalleague.org, for more information. There's a lot of great tips on there. If people want to make donations in person, if they're unable to where they live far away, they can always make donations off of our wish list. We have a great wish list going for our cats and dogs, and they're able to participate by just donating if they would like to, or even helping a shelter near them.
Is the wish list something similar to what we mentioned earlier, where people are looking for a specific breed or specific characteristics in a pet?
Nope, the wish list is more for our animals. So if we know we use certain toys, we will put a list together. So it's kind of like a wish list if you had a kid and you wanted to set up for a birthday party. It's the same type of idea where we put different toys and enrichment items that the canines or felines would like to have.
Kristie, I heard that you guys were on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and obviously that must have been interesting and fun. What did you come out of that with, and how did that go?
It's always interesting and fun. It's such a great thing that we do, and it's great for them to have us there. We always bring little puppies, and they get to just spread the whole health and just awareness of adoption. And it's really great that we're able to do those things because it does just bring our name out there and really emphasize adoption.
I remember when Johnny Carson used to have, I think it was someone with more of a wild animal trainer come on. And the thing that always got the biggest laugh, of course, when the animal would come on stage and just relieve themselves. And it was sometime it was on him. And of course, the audience would go wild. It must have been great for the ratings. I don't think he was too happy with it. But the animal would walk across his desk, whatever it was, and just decide, it's hot here. There's a lot of lights. Maybe it's a good place to do my business. So
yeah, that happens sometimes with puppies for sure.
Let me just say, Stephen Colbert, you guys picked the right show to go on. He's by far the best in that whole realm of hosts, for the record. But moving on, you said obviously you take donations of supplies, donations of any kind of amount of money. I'm sure very, very well accepted and welcomed in any capacity. But is there anything else anyone can do in terms of donation? Maybe donate their time, how do volunteers get involved, stuff like that?
If they have interest in volunteering here, they can certainly visit our website for volunteer opportunities. There is an application that they can fill out, and that way they're able to participate here. And again, if they don't live nearby and they want to be participating in North Shore Animal League America, they can visit our website for more information on how they can be part of us, whether physically here on campus or maybe just virtually.
Kristie, obviously you guys are experts working with animals. Can you give our audience some tips that most of us, that many people, and I'll include myself, may be doing incorrectly when either feeding our animal or taking them out or providing them with hydration, etc., mistakes we might make or things we could do better to make our animals happy?
Absolutely. So I would have to say, number one, if it's a dog, the best thing and the most underrated thing is exercise. Dogs need a lot of it. And depending on the breeds and the age and the energy level, some people might just, get home from work and be like, I don't feel like going for that walk today. But that is so critical in a dog's environment and health and well-being. So exercise, I would have to say, is number one. And also just spending one-on-one time with them, enriching them. And, maybe if it's playing ball or going for a walk or going to the park, they really just value that so much. So that would be number one. I would say with feeding, just feeding and going out for walks would be a routine and something that they stick to, because just like we are creatures of habit, so are they. They want to know when they're getting fed. They want to know when they're getting walked. So if it's consistent, it will help make them much happier, and it will make you much happier as a pet owner because you might not have to clean up accidents.
Very good motivational speech right at the end there. You avoid the accidents. That's perfect. Matt?
What is one thing you want to leave with our audience when it comes to North Shore Animal League America?
I would have to just say how many amazing pets have come through these doors and gotten adopted. It's just, unless you're really here and you're seeing it, again, there's so many animals that I would have taken home if I would have been able to. So, just that adoption is really the way to go these days.
Kristie, I'm just thinking, based on what you just said, do you ever come to work and say, oh, I can't walk away from little Fluffy or Snowball or whatever, and maybe you didn't plan this at all? I mean, just like sometimes we pass a bakery and we want something good, but you see this wonderful animal that's just loving. Do you surprise your family and say, look what I brought home from work today?
I have tried. Let me just tell you, I've tried numerous times. Unfortunately, I have a little dog right now, and she's just not a very other dog or other animal friendly individual. So I've respected that with her, and she's been the only pet for now 14 years. And actually, I think that's helped save me and probably my marriage.
There's another point for dogs. Save your marriage, get the right pet. That sounds good.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And Kristie, again, for our audience, if someone is interested in, they're hearing from you now, maybe they can't come over there or something, is there, other than donations of money, is there something they can do, or is there an event they could participate in that maybe you have annually?
Absolutely. And if they are looking to adopt, but maybe they're just not too close here, if they go to our website at animalleague.org, we do have a list of events. So that might be adoption events that we have in other areas. And there's a list of events going on that they could participate in, even like the Walk and Wag, which is coming up in September. That's in the city. So maybe you're in the city and you'd like to join the walk. So I would always refer back to our website if they want to be involved in anything here.
I guess if somebody wants to do something, you'll find an opportunity for them.
Absolutely. We'll find something for them.
And real quick, 10 seconds, what's your best day at work?
The day that my favorite animal gets adopted.
Oh.
I've had many of them.
Oh,
I
and
have many favorite animals, but they always get adopted. So that's the best day.
I would think that would be the tearjerker. That would be the one like, oh, you're taking Fluffy, but that's the good day, right? It
is. It is. It's tearjerker, but it's also, it's just so happy to see the happy ending, and to know that pet is going to a great home is so satisfying.
Kristie, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
To our audience, would like you to know we've been talking to Kristie Buccella. She's with the North Shore Animal League America, and you've heard many wonderful ways that if you want to get involved, you're looking for a new pet, or just want to help out in the good work that they do, there's a lot of opportunities there. So, Kristie, thanks for being with us, and thanks for filling us in on that.
Thanks so much.
I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Matt Leonard. We thank you for listening to this week's special edition of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.